This is the Tesla 1 month overview reading for the month of August 2023. It's currently June 10th, 2023, 8:57 p.m. Eastern Time. Tesla at the time of this reading is currently $243.88 in the extended hours. And a shuffle file for the August reading was created on May 20th, 2023 at 11:55 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. The overall theme and behavior for the month. So we have the Emperor card, which in the theme position could really indicate some real sideways behavior. Either that or that we come to a bottom where there's a support level on a multi-day scale, and at least the 1 month kind of scale, there's a support level that we can rely upon to stabilize. Like, we meet that support level. Can we hold it at the support? Yes, that's the support level. It's a sound foundation of support. That's the Emperor card. It's crossed with a period of sideways rotation that ends with the fast sudden move higher. That goes pretty well as far as what we were talking about for the overall theme. And there's also an important trough, let's say on a 1 year or year-to-date kind of scale. Behavior around the highest high, more sideways rotation around the highest high. There's two things when you see the change card. There's a couple of things. Sometimes you have multi-day kind of price swings. You might see the high twice, or around the high, you're going to see price swings. Behavior around the low, we have a rally out of the low that offers an opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position. Usually when you see the Ace of Wands in the low position, it indicates that we're going to see that low more than once, or that we're going to see a lower price level in the following reading. So in this case, it would be the September reading, but we haven't looked at September in depth yet, so we wouldn't be able to tell you just yet. With that said, let's take a look at May and see how we did. So we had a low here on the 3rd. We nailed that, guys. Crest on the 4th, 5th, pretty accurate too there. On the 12th, we had a pretty prominent crest as well, indicated by the star, and you can see this was a pretty prominent crest. Out of that trough there, we had this pretty big move here into the highs, and it looks like I was a little bit early on the highs there. The high ended up being end of the month. We do have the Ace of Swords here, so it's not that the reading was inaccurate. It's due to human error on my part. My apologies. But the Ace of Swords in a lot of cases indicates a top on like a 1 month kind of scale. I could see that I missed that. I was thrown off because of this second correlation here to a possible lowest low. It didn't end up being a lowest low here on the 25th. It did, however, end up being a very prominent trough, sticking out amongst all the other troughs. And the day-by-day chart behavior, pretty accurate too. On the 8th, we have a reversal. So if you were to have opened up a long position here on the 3rd and closed the long position somewhere around the 17th, 18th, you would have been a happy camper. You would have left money on the table, unfortunately, because I kind of misread the very end of the month. But with that said, you would have made a solid profit. People did pretty well, and we see some rule of karma come through for that for the channel and for those donations. Let's get into the remainder of June. So when we're looking at the August, what we've got is a highest high here. This is the 1 year reading. It's got a highest high somewhere around the Ace of Swords here. So most likely on the cusp here of August, September, we've got a highest high. That's after a trough that forms mid-month. And it looks like a lot of price change is covered early in the month, and an unexpected move to the upside into that high, and then out of that high there's a decline that increases with momentum moving forward in time and takes us into a low there in September as well, so be careful for that. There on the 2nd, we have that move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, we break back down. There's a trough in there as well that'll stand out. But the abundance card often can be a kind of a top and indicate a top as well. It's within close proximity to where I think we have the highest high for the month, which is most likely here on the 3rd. But you could say the 2nd or the 4th as well, because these cards sometimes are also toppy cards. I think it's probably the 3rd. That's my sense. And on the 3rd, we do some sideways rotation along key support. There's a big move to the upside, followed by more sideways rotation at a higher price level. And that's the type of behavior we're looking for here as the highest high. You could say probably more sideways rotation on the 4th along a key support level. There's a trade opportunity in there on the 4th, so a lot of ground is covered. On the 7th, we likely open lower, and there's either a merger of some kind that's highlighted, and there would be like a holding pattern involved with that, or we have like a pop and drop where you have a prominent move higher and then a move back down that usually retraces the move higher, making like a triangular peak. On the 8th, it looks like there's probably a day trade opportunity in there. First, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance. That's resistance that we recently failed to break through once before, and then we turn around and we decline through key support, taking us into a trough again on the morning of the 9th. If you're interested in learning about the trade information, all you got to do is go to our services on our website, tarotfortraders.com. ESO Meta posts, and then scroll down to monthly subscription. You can order any of these subscriptions. It's a really, really great way to support the channel. The people with these subscriptions are really the ones responsible for this channel still being in existence, guys. We definitely know the names of everybody that does this. And if you're interested in more than one, you can always get the 250. That's really popular. Thank you so much to all those of you that go ahead and do that. Let's get back into it. There on the 9th, out of a trough and trade opportunity, we have a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. And out of the trough is a sideways fluctuating rally, a trade opportunity, and then a notable decline. That sideways fluctuating rally continues into the 10th to a crest or a peak at the end of the day. There may be some price swings on the 10th, some bearish price swings. By the end of the day on the 10th, we should see decline. And we've had the opposite chart behavior of the Chariot card here with the Empress card, which is a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally. Gap up over the weekend into the 14th. A notable trade opportunity on the 11th and then on the 14th again. And gap up there to a key technical resistance level that's highlighted on a multi-day kind of scale. There'll be a lot of price change probably to the downside after meeting that resistance level. Probably a brief peak that's easily missed. And then there's resistance that's highlighted on the 15th that we've come up against many times before and failed to break through. An important price level on the 16th. Usually the truce card tends to appear after a period of price swings. We're trying to determine direction. Things will kind of ease up. They'll flatten out, at least temporarily, around the truce card at an important resistance or an important price level, usually resistance. There's a trade opportunity in there, and then looks like a crest midday to early afternoon on the 16th. The upper end of a range is highlighted there at the end of the day on the 17th. There's sideways rotation along key support, and then at the upper end of a range there, we come up against the upper end of range at the end of the 17th at a crest or peak. Looks like there's some sort of speaker around the cusp of the 17th to 18th. Hard to determine if what they're talking about can be relied upon. Off of that peak or crest on the 17th, we should have a decline into the 18th. That decline will end with a fast sudden move higher. Well, that fast sudden move higher either takes place at the end of the day on the 18th, or if it doesn't take place there at the end of the day on the 18th, then we'll have that fast sudden move higher there on the 21st. After probably a little bit of sideways rotation, there should be a significant move to the upside. This Lust card it's very similar to the Ace of Wands kind of energy in a lot of regards, and that's what we're looking for out of a low. So this is most likely where we see a lowest low here on the 21st or 22nd. More likely the 22nd, but I think we probably see it on the 21st as well. There's a trough at the end of the day, a sideways S formation. We go from a resistance somewhere on the 21st, and we reach for a distant resistance with that Lust card, and we decline to a support, then we retrace all the way back to resistance. We might see that resistance probably not on the 21st, but on the 22nd. That second time we'll see that resistance, and then another decline down to support. That's that sideways S formation. I'm advised to be cautious on the 23rd. There's an important trough and multiple false tops there. Probably some sideways rotation, but a pretty big move at the end of the day to the upside and a peak or crest at the end of the day. On the 24th, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a decline through key support. There's also a trade opportunity there. We'll talk about in detail in the paid version. And then on the 25th, we have a rally out of a trough that increases with momentum moving forward in time, takes us to a cash out opportunity there at the end of the day. I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. And on the 29th, there's a significant move to the upside. This is, we see like a really big move out of the low. We might see the low again here, one of these troughs, but at the end of the month, it looks like we have a pretty big move, and that's sideways rotation, right, along a key support that can be relied upon. And then that ends with the fast sudden move higher. And it looks like that ending of that sideways rotation takes place here on the 28th, where we have a breakout on a multi-day scale, taking us into a key technical price level on the 29th that's highlighted. It's important on at least a 1 year kind of scale. On the 30th, we have another breakout and a fast sudden move to the upside. On the 31st, we retrace some of that move to the upside with a decline down to and through support to meet a second support. We bounce around along that support for a bit throughout the day, and then we break down through multiple supports. A trade opportunity there as well. September sneak preview is the full card, meaning that there's going to be a lot of price change there taking place, and a notable trade opportunity that goes very well with the story that's being told on the 1 year. We have a lot of price movement from a highest high to a lowest low there in the month of September. That's TSLA for the month of August. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. My friends, please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Most importantly, my friends, make sure to follow that rule of karma. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure to check out the video on our channel explaining the rule of karma. 5% of the profits from the information on this channel should be donated forward to one of these charities. 5% of the profits should be donated back to the channel. That leaves you at 90% of the profits. Make sure you spend that out of love. If you follow those rules, that's the rule of karma for the channel, the universe will send it back to you tenfold through this channel, my friends. I'll see you guys guys on the next one. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.